ProWrestlingSheet.com.
Well, let's go through that because that's our SmackDown Live recap. Let's go through the matches TLC coming up this weekend. You have the Mixed Match Challenge final, R-Truth and Carmel. How the hell are they up against Jinder and Alicia in the final? How did this happen, for fuck's sake?
Injuries.
Yeah.
Lots of injuries and sicknesses and all that kind of stuff. I mean, yeah.
This is so weird.
This season, the second season of the Mixed Match Challenge was just like such a mess.
Yeah.
It was honestly, like, I barely paid attention to it. Yeah. It was like, it really seemed so like just all over the place. They were just trying their best to get through it. It felt like.
Well, R-Truth and Carmella, I think, are going to take this thing. It just seems to make the most sense. I don't think give Jinder and Alicia a push.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah.
The dance break thing's been getting over.
It's been getting over, and people like R-Truth.
The only thing I say that the only difference, the only reason I say the other way is because I feel like the dance break needs to happen earlier in the Royal Rumble.
Oh yeah. Okay.
If they're both the dance break's going to be in one of those Rumbles.
Of course.
Probably both of those Rumbles. And I feel like if they're both at number 30, like that's weird placement for the dance break because it's so late in the episode. You know, because of that, I take it back. I'm going Jinder Mahal and Alicia Fox.
Wow.
That's what I'm going with.
Okay.
I'm changing mine. Yeah, I'm going Jinder, former world champion, getting the number 30 spot. Alicia Fox, one of the longest tenured roster members in the women's division, wasn't in the last women's Royal Rumble, right? Wasn't she like injured or something like that? I remember all that going on. So yeah, that's my guess.
Okay, all right. Buddy Murphy versus Cedric Alexander in the Cruiserweight title.
Cedric Alexander.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like.
Okay.
I mean, I don't think anyone's really going to be. I don't think anyone like. The majority isn't going to be like super caring about this match anyways.
Yeah, I agree.
But Cedric Alexander.
Okay. I think
wait. Buddy's champion though.
Yeah, Buddy's champion. I think Buddy wins.
I'm sorry, I take it back.
Okay.
I forgot Cedric's not champion anymore.
Okay.
But Buddy's keeping it.
Yeah, I think
I was going with the safe response. So sorry. Buddy.
Cedric doesn't need it for what he's doing with AOP.
No.
Natalya versus Ruby Riot. Tables.
Oh, it's got to be Natalya.
Yeah?
Oh my God. If she doesn't win in this match.
We've seen it happen though. Beth Phoenix lost in Buffalo. We've seen it happen.
She's got to win this match. In honor of the Anvil. It's in honor of the Anvil.
Yeah, but you also got to look at WWE putting people over. You know Anvil and Natty are like fucking lifers, and they will put over Ruby because Ruby's the up-and-comer. That's possible.
I'm going Natty. Okay. I'm praying that Natty wins this. I'm praying. It'll be...
I'm going with Ruby because I think it makes her even more of a heel, and Natty's always been a giving
You think she's putting her through the Anvil table?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man, Rocha.
Maybe. All right, SmackDown Tag Team Champions, Sheamus and Cesaro versus the Usos and the New Day. Great triple threat match. What do you think in this one?
It's got to be the Bar,
yeah?
I think. Yeah.
I feel like the Bar, too, because they just got it
They just got it.
Yeah, give them a little bit of a run, then the Usos are going to take it.
They had that time off.
Yeah.
They don't feel, They
don't feel tired.
No, not at all. If anything, they feel very fresh. Yeah, I think the Bar.
If the WWE wants to do a real documentary, they should do a documentary on the Bar. And they should go from like that 7 match that when people hate or put comments up there, people were done with both of those guys. People were over this stuff. Then how the Bar had to fight for even a modicum of respect, and how all of a sudden they have become one of the favorite tag teams, regardless of face or heel, in the WWE universe. Pretty incredible what's happened in their journey. Bobby Lashley versus Elias. Who you got?
Elias.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, Elias has got to get his. And isn't it like a? It's got a stipulation now, doesn't it? It's got. Isn't it like a ladder on a? Isn't it? Or sorry, ladder. Isn't it like
Leo's
a guitar
there, right?
on a pole or something?
I thought Leo was on the pole.
I think there's a guitar hanging above the ring or something like that.
Okay.
So because of that, it's got to be Elias.
Okay.
Elias has got to get his comeuppance on. I feel like all the bad guys who've been running amok are finally gonna kind of like get their
comeuppance.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Randy Orton versus Rey Mysterio.
Randy Orton.
Oh, you think Orton?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And like I said, he's got to be in a place where he's
good point.
He's got to be like strong to go against AJ. So I feel like he's got to come out of this where the new legend killer is still just as strong.
Right. All right. Drew McIntyre versus Finn Balor.
If it happens, Drew McIntyre.
Okay.
Drew McIntyre all the way.
I mean,
he's killing it. I know that I've heard that like Finn is, possibly going to be one of the guys, but one of the main guys going forward. But they clearly put that on Seth this week, so I'm going Drew McIntyre.
Ronda versus Nia Jax for the Raw Women's Championship.
Better be Ronda Rousey. Fucking better be Ronda Rousey.
Yeah, if Nia wins.
Oh my God, if she wins.
But the WWE likes doing that. They like to create sometimes like F you to the fans.
Do you think it's possible they go reverse status where they have they have Nia win?
Yeah.
Ronda wins the Rumble. Becky keeps the title. And she goes, hey, you've been talking all that smack.
Wow.
I want you.
Yeah, maybe.
And then they move Ronda to SmackDown
Holy shit.
in preparation for the Fox change.
Oh, yeah. That makes sense.
I honestly hadn't thought about that till right now.
That makes sense. All right. I like that.
But I don't want Nia.
So many things need to be. Yeah, I know.
I don't want Nia to be the champion. So I'm still going Ronda Rousey.
Don't we have enough Brad promos, for God's sake?
I'm still going Ronda Rousey, but
yeah.
I wouldn't hate if that happens. I wouldn't hate it either.
Okay, fair enough. I just want to see a good match. Can we just see that?
Right.
Intercontinental Championship between Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose.
I've had all day I've had 24 hours to think about it since we were talking on the Raw recap. I like the idea of Seth going into WrestleMania as Intercontinental Champion against the Universal Champion. Like the champion who's never there versus the champion who's always there.
Right.
I like that idea. It's very Hogan Warrior-esque from back in the day.
WrestleMania 6.
So I'm going with Seth keeping the title. I think that if they want Seth versus Brock, if they think that's a worthy WrestleMania main event, they got to push the shit out of Seth to get there.
Right.
So strong, super strong Intercontinental Champion who's like always beating everyone. Yeah, I'm cool with that.
Okay. All right. I think it's going to be Ambrose because I think they got to legitimize his heel turn, and I think putting a title on him makes it a legitimate heel turn. And then Rollins moves on to the main event status. Since he's beltless, they have to put him in another program. I think that's will be he'll be free to go towards the Universal title. I think
heel twist sounds like a dance move. He's doing my heel twist.
Or a submission move. All right, WWE Championship, Daniel Bryan versus AJ Styles. Who you got in this one?
It's got to be Daniel Bryan.
I think so too.
Yeah. It'd be silly to take the title off him at this point.
It'll be a great match, though.
Yeah.
Certainly, yeah. I think so. All right, TLC match. Braun Strowman, for some reason, against Baron Corbin. If this happens.
My guess is Braun beats Baron Corbin. Alexa becomes the actual
GM.
Yeah. Braun goes back. Baron goes back in the wrestling pool. That's my guess.
Okay.
And then we finally build towards Braun versus Brock.
Yeah.
At Royal Rumble.
Right. That should work out.
Right.
For the record, I called the Alexa Bliss thing.
You did.
I suggested it.
And ever since then, I've been on board with it.
And she's embracing it. Those pictures she's putting on Instagram and on social media of her and the Raw thing. I honestly, if she never wrestles again, I don't think I would mind it. I think she's a fantastic GM. If she's a GM for the next 10 years, it'd be fantastic. I do. I just love her. I think she's great. She's great on the mic.
He says that a year in, he'd be like, "Oh, are we gonna always have Alexa Bliss?" 2 years in, I'm like, "Really? 2 years of Alexa Bliss as GM? You know you'd be like that 10 years.
Put her back in the hot pants.
Bullshit. 10 years. I wouldn't want any GM for 10 years."
Well, this is Brian Cashman, New York Yankees shout out. All right, anyway, last match. TLC SmackDown Women's Champion Becky Lynch. Oh, by the way, the Strowman thing, I think it'll be, if he wrestles, it'll be a squash match. It'll be over quick.
Agreed.
And Strowman can do that, and it's believable.
Agreed.
And people want Corbin to get his just desserts.
Agreed. And I think they're trying to let Braun rest up as much as possible for his elbow so that he can be ready for WrestleMania and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, agreed. SmackDown Women's Champ, or Lesnar comes out, interferes, and helps Corbin win. Then you set up the match, and you give Strowman more time to recover because if he hurts Strowman, gives him more time to be on the shelf.
Not a bad idea either.
That's a possibility.
Not a bad guess.
All right, TLC SmackDown Women's Championship, Becky Lynch versus Charlotte Flair versus Asuka.
Asuka.
Yeah, I think Asuka as well.
I think Asuka. Yeah. Even though the wrestling playbook goes like, well, if they stand tall at the end of the show, at the end of the go home, they're not winning the actual match.
Right.
I think it was like reverse psychology there. I think Asuka's winning because the only way you can take title off Becky, if they weren't going to strip her of the title because of her injury, the only way you can take the title off Becky is by and making it where she can still say, I never lost my title. I deserve Ronda Rousey or whatever, is via ladder match where she wasn't pinned. She was on the outside. She, something else happened. Ronda Rousey's crew came out and attacked her. The Four Horsewomen came out and attacked her. Something like that, to where that it's Asuka finally gets the title, but you also don't have Becky hurt at all from it.
Or man, the possibility is, I'm thinking about it, if Charlotte wins the title, then you have Asuka losing to Charlotte again. You create this program, and then Asuka defeats Charlotte at WrestleMania a year later, having lost her streak to Charlotte the year before.
Also a possibility.
Yeah, and then Becky gets even more upset that Charlotte has the title.
Also a possibility, because I do know that like what I had heard, before Becky became the biggest thing in wrestling was like, what they're doing what they were looking to do at WrestleMania was Charlotte versus Rousey, and Becky versus Asuka for the title. That they were going to get Becky over for a few months as a heel, have her go up against Asuka. Asuka finally wins the title at WrestleMania. Charlotte was going to finally get over this great feud with Becky, heel Becky, and then transition back to Ronda. If they just switch roles, it's not the most. It's a believable situation.
I'll go out on a limb and I'll say Charlotte, thinking maybe that's how they want to play it out. So, and then Ryan has Asuka. We'll see.
ProWrestlingSheet.com